Alright, my people, so back tune again. Now I want to listen to real information, because some people may tell them what they go on in the Caribbean, but then still not understand.
It's a hypocritical view, because what you're saying is it's okay for us to live in the dirt, in the gutter, in less than human conditions, but it's not okay for us to tell people that we're living in these conditions.
I'm back again, but like I never left.
Ooh.
Hey. Who are they? Where are they? Who are the people of the book? Who are the people of the chosen? There is no prophecies without the people. The prophecies is with the people. Who are they? Asked Paul. Who are the Israelites?
You hear a lot of controversy going on right now about rap. Just Time Warner dropping Interscope and a lot of things that have resulted from people saying it's a bad image, it's bad for young people. Tell us your comments on that.
I said so many comments on this, but basically it's a hypocritical view, because what you're saying is it's okay for us to live in the dirt, in the gutter, in less than human conditions, but it's not okay for us to tell people that we're living in these conditions. Everything was cool, you know. The ghetto was okay. It was habitable until we started talking about exactly what were the repercussions of living this type of lifestyle. What happens when you live in this kind of environment? What type of person it changes you into? Now all of a sudden it's like you can't talk about that. But this is what we live in. We don't have a choice. You know what I mean?
We're gonna go into a definition here. Ghetto. Ghetto is a condition. It's a condition that's put upon a people that was in greater power and isolated people, and wherever these people go, their living quarters was called the ghetto. Ghetto. A quarter of the city where the Jews were formerly required to live. A quarter of the city which members of the minority group live, especially because of social, legal, and economic pressure. An isolated group. A situation that resembles a ghetto, especially in conferring inferior status or limiting opportunity.
Close, but the word ghetto actually came from 16th century Italy. So in Venice, Italy, there used to be a requirement for Jewish people to live in a certain area of the city, and they called that area of the city the ghetto. Now, the word was originally spelled Gheto, and it means foundry. And the reason why it means foundry is because where the ghetto was right next to the town's foundry shop. And that's where they say it originated. Now, some historians are going to debate you on this, because some believe that the word ghetto came from the Hebrew tradition, in which meant divorce or separation. And this was still alluding to the Jewish being separated or divorced from their original place of residence. And others will tell you that the word did come from Italy, but it didn't actually mean a foundry. It actually means to be thrown or cast aside, again, referring to the Jewish being required to live in what was considered the ghetto. Either way you look at it, though, the word was described to use a place where Jewish people resided. Now, as time has gone on, we see that the ghetto is usually referred to as a place where people that are impoverished live. And unfortunately, a lot of us have a distaste with the word. But the reality is that the ghetto is beautiful, right? The ghetto is a place where you can be creative. And I can tell you, as somebody that lives in the suburbs, it is the last place that I was able to express myself fully. And so I'm trying to make my way right on back to that ghetto.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, cursed thou shalt be in the field.
Friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong, it's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire. I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop, and then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got me. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got...
Again, Deuteronomy 28 expresses the conditions of the chosen ones that will live throughout eternity through the prophetic and prophecies of the Lord, right? Based on their responsibilities and their conditions. And this is one that if his people chose not to follow him, they will be cursed in the city and they shall be cursed in the field. So even to this day, where they live as a group, it is known to be ghetto.
All the society is doing is leeching off the ghetto. They use the ghetto for their pain, for their sorrow, for their culture, for their music, for their happiness, for their movies, to talk about boys in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be another I don't want to be 50 years old at a BET We Shall Overcome Achievement Awards. You know what I'm saying? Not me. You know, I want when they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. You know, every time I speak, I want the truth.
Or it could be ghetto could be an adjective now.
I'm in the ghetto.
Let's start a new trend. Fuck it. Show me the most ghetto thing you got in your crib. I'ma start.
I don't know if this counts as ghetto because it's also extremely practical, but my husband was sick and tired of losing all their remotes. So he came up with a remote board. Literally a piece of wood with all of our remotes that we need, zip tied and duct taped to it. He made that a couple years ago and we have never lost a remote since.
The ghetto. The ghetto.
It's not just one type of ghetto, man. It's actually two. You got like regular ghetto, and then you got that classy ghetto, that those people that grew up with home training like me. We the type of people you would call chateau.
And what ghetto mean to you? Tell me something that you see and you be like, bitch, that's ghetto.
I got one.
What?
A bonnet.
Really?
A bonnet in public is ghetto.
I think that's a little ghetto.
You think so? Even on a plane?
If you wearing that hoe through
In
the
the
airport, that's a little ghetto. But if you got like an overnight flight, if you got like a 10-hour flight,
None of that
you
matter.
wanna
But you
make
stay
sure
in the
your
airport, you're not gonna see me for 10 hours. You're gonna see me for the 30 seconds walking past you. And you gonna say I'm ghetto?
I would be like,
that whole ghetto.
Booty shorts in public.
Oh, I hate it. That is so ghetto to me. I don't want to see your ass.
Yeah.
Bitch, they got kids in here.
Yeah. Put the cheeks up.
I don't think color hair is ghetto. I don't think big earrings is ghetto. I think if I could see parts of your body that only your nigga should see around children, it's ghetto.
wearing a bodysuit outside
The lingerie.
with no stockings on.
If I see you with that in Target, bitch, you ghetto. But if you going to a club to attract niggas, I mean, that's what it's for.
That's what it's
It
for.
depends on the
setting.
environment.
Yeah. When I say ghetto, though, it's not a color to me.
Because white hoes do it too.
Hey, the first time I seen somebody walk around the store with no shoes on,
That's ghetto.
that's ghetto. But it was a white.
It was a
white.
What about if you in a hotel
Okay.
and you going down to get an extra key and you got your socks on? You in a hotel.
No, you gotta put some shoes on.
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Now I give a sock a pass because it's something between your foot and the ground.
Just put some shoes on. Put some shoes on, super.
I'm in the ghetto. Grat-ta-ta-ta. Grat-ta-ta. No, it's a TikTok. It's just a TikTok. It's a TikTok.
Particularly towards those people, you act ghetto, meaning for the people that live in quote unquote ghettos, there's a spirit that comes with that, right? Again, it's a quarter of the city which the Jews are firmly required to live. A quarter of the city which the members of the minority group live, especially because of the social, legal, or economic pressure, an isolated group. The etymology of the Italian ghetto was formerly the subject of much speculation, but today there is a little doubt that the word comes from the Italian dialect from Ghetto, meaning foundry. A foundry for cannons was once located in the island that forms part of Venice, where in 1516 the Venetians restricted Jewish residents. The word Ghetto became the name for the area, was borrowed into the standard Italian as ghetto, with the meaning of section of the city where the Jews was forced to live.
I used to think DC had the roughest ghettos in the country. Oh, there's some rough areas outside of DC. I had a limousine driver. It was after a show, it was late at night, it was like 3 in the morning. I had a limousine driver, he was a nice guy, talking to me and shit. Oh, hey, where you from, dog? DC? Word? That's a rough city, man. And his cell phone started ringing. Hold on 1 second. Hello? Oh, what's up, nigga? What? What the fuck? Slow down, what? No! 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 On my way! Hey. I gotta make a stop real quick.
Got him! Got him!
At 3 o'clock in the morning, I didn't know he was taking me to the ghetto at first. I started looking out the window, I was like, what the fuck? It's gun store, liquor store, gun store. This don't look good. Just pulled up in front of an old rickety building that looked like a project. Now, I'd never been there before, I'm not sure if it was a project, but certainly had all the familiar symptoms of a project. A crackhead ran this way. And then another one jumped out of a tree and shit. And I said, I'll be right back. And left me. Took the keys with him and just left me. Now this is when I knew I was in a bad neighborhood. You only see this in the worst neighborhoods. Remember, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I look out the window. It was a baby standing on a corner.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa! That boy is good.
Look at this. And the baby didn't even look scared. He was just standing there. I mean, it made me sad. It made me sad, really. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to help the baby. I was like, I don't trust you either. I'm sorry. Click. Click. The old baby on the corner trick, eh? Where's this limousine driver? You know, I stopped feeling bad. As time goes by, I start feeling worse. Like, man, what is wrong with me? What the hell's wrong? I'm scared of a baby. I mean, this baby could be in trouble. He might need my help. I got to do something. But I wasn't going to get out the car. I'm serious, man. I just cracked the window a little bit. There's an old limousine. I can roll it down. Hey, baby. Baby, go home, man. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Baby said, I'm selling weed. I said, oh.
What we talking about? We're talking about customs of the people. We're talking about customs of the people. And who are they? Who are the ancient Israelites? So now, Bible surveillance is saying, like, look, there is a correlation between where they live to the word ghetto and the definition of ghetto, right? But there's a spirit that also comes with them. And when they're no longer leading themselves and teaching themselves and have a purpose for themselves, what happens to the children? Isaiah, what happens to the children? What happened to their children? Explain it to them. So Isaiah is telling y'all, your children have fainted. They lie at every street corner. Your children has fainted. Fainted means like they almost like they're living, but they passed away. Like mentally, they're not moving forward. They're not evolving. They fainted, right? And since they fainted, they lie at every street corner. They stand on the corners. They hang out at the corners. Right? They looking totally different than what God put upon them. Look, street corners is the education corners in these neighborhoods, right? And the spirit, when they standing on these street corners, they'll be as wild as a bull, and in that, they will be filled with the wrath of the Lord and rebuke of your God. What this is saying, all this is saying is, because of their conditions, they're gonna be like a wild. We actually have a term for this. We call this these men that stand on the street corners, that act wild like a bull at times. We call them thugs. We call them a thug, right? This is what we do. By how they look and how they appear and what they do in society and where they hang out at in the ghettos, on the street corners in the ghettos.
I've never wanted to be a gangster. I'm a thug, but I'm a nice person. I'm a thug by survival. I have to be to survive, not because I want to be. I don't want to hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? I want to survive. I want to make money. I want to be in business. I want to do it. But what's honest about the world is that no one's going to let me do that. So that's where the thug comes in. But if everybody just left me alone, I'll be a nice person.
We call them a thug, a wild bull in the net. And they filled with the wrath of the Lord.
And we shouldn't be angry. And my raps that I'm rapping to my community shouldn't be filled with rage. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be filled with the same atrocities that they gave to me. In the media, they don't talk about it. So in my raps, I have to talk about it. And it just seems foreign because...
Let's take a little deeper now. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the end of the earth, even unto other. There thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of the foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling of heart, and falling of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
Trust nobody. Love, trust nobody. There's no love for a thug. My closest friends did me in. My closest friends, my homies. I just go to show you, fear is stronger than love. Remember that. There's no heaven for a thug, and I'm a soldier. I always survive. There's no love for a thug. Only thing that can kill me is death.
In the morning thou shalt say, Would God it was evening. And at the evening thou shalt say, Would God it were morning. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Y'all need Bible surveillance to take it slow with y'all? Let's take it a little slow. Let's take it a little slow with y'all. Let me break this down to y'all. So now we're talking about a condition of his people, prophetic condition, right? They end up in ghettos with the personality or the character of ghetto. This happened because they didn't listen to the Lord. They didn't follow his laws. So what the Lord said, hey, you want to follow the world? You want to follow them? Go ahead. Go follow them. But when you do, he said, I'm going to scatter you among all those people that you want to follow. Instead of following me, I'm going to help you. I'm going to scatter you amongst all those people. To the end of the earth, I will scatter you. And when you get there, you will start serving their gods. Right? You'll be serving gods that your fathers haven't known. This is how far I'm going to scatter you. You're going to be serving wood and stone. You have a living God that have promoted you, gave you miracles, gave you luxury, have given you everything. You supposed to inherit. But then you want to go out there and follow. What's wrong with these people? So since y'all want to do that, y'all go over there and talk to the wood. Y'all go over there and talk to the stone. I'm a living God. Y'all was able to talk to me. And I'm able to provide. But y'all go talk to the wood. Y'all go talk to the stone. Y'all go do that. Let's see how that worked for you. So now, when the Lord did that, helped them on their way, he said, among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall your soul or your foot have rest. See, under my laws, so this is God talking to his people now. Under my laws, I gave you rest. We was able to hang out together. We was able to eat together. We was able to party together. You understand? We was able to work, live, rest, and party together. But since y'all want to follow them in the world, you would have no rest. Your feet will always be tired. Since you don't want to be under me, you don't want to appreciate me. So when you get there and you're amongst those people, you start serving them and you start worshiping the wood and you start worshiping the stone, you will have no rest. Not only that, the Lord shall give thee a trembling of heart, failing of the eyes, and sorrow of mind. Why? Because they're going to work you till you tired. You're going to work so much and have less to little to nothing. And you're going to start questioning how you're going to survive the next day. You know, can I continue living like this? But y'all didn't appreciate it when you was with me. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance in thy life. So when you're in those ghettos in these nations, the poor class servicing the other class of people, in that spirit of you, the balance of your life is day to day. This is your spirit. You should have doubt always. You should have fear day and night. You should have no assurance in your life. Y'all remember? The children hanging out at street corners with the spirit of the wild bull caught in a net. We call that a thug, or we call it ghetto. But in that same spirit, you have the trembling of heart, failing of eyes, sorrow of mind. Thy life shall hang in a doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. And when it's morning, you was wishing it was evening. Why? Because if you see the sun rise, you don't know if you're going to see the sun down. So you're wishing to rush the day to see the sun down. With God it were morning, for the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for thy sight and thy eyes which thou shalt see. Huh? So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. You see, when y'all was under me, meaning this is God talking to his people, y'all. When y'all was under me, the men was tender among you and they was delicate with you. When he looked at his brother, his people, he loved it. He loved being around his people. He enjoyed being around his people. That didn't make him weak. The Lord didn't make him weak now. He protected his own then. But in this condition, when they chose to go follow other nations, now they can't trust each other. They live a life of chaos. They're in the streets, caught in the net like a wild bull. Like a wild bull. Who are they? Who are these people? What do y'all think? Put it in the comments, man. Put it in the chat. Let's talk about it. These are prophetic future events that will happen to his people that show that their living God is real. Through them, through their conditions, you can understand that the Heavenly Father is real. How this one book of many can predict and prophesy the condition of his people thousands of years into the future. This is Bible surveillance. We're just surveying and asking the question. We're bringing topics, we're bringing scriptures here to talk about things that's not of the sky. We're talking about the earth. Why, when y'all go to religious places, they want to have y'all looking up at the sky? No, we're dealing with the earth. This is what we're discussing here. Because if you look up in the sky, you don't have to see the people. When you look up in the sky, you don't have to see the people. You don't have to see the condition of them. You don't have to believe who they are. Because if you're on earth and you're dealing with this book on earth, you have to deal with them. You have to see them. Bible surveillance.